Hey, good afternoon. Happy Saturday, everybody out there on Facebook. Today, we're going to be talking about the steps in the home buying process. I did get requested this by a few of you, and perfect day to put this up, considering it's Saturday, the weekend. I know a lot of people are out there shopping for homes at the moment through one of the many open houses going on in Central Florida, and also in the Lake Nona area. So first thing you guys want to do is start researching early on what area you'd like to be in, which is what some of you may be doing today. And just particular homes, how long they stay on the market for, how much they end up selling for. This is going to give you a better sense of your area. And once you have an idea of the area, which you can do this whether it's 2 years away, 3, 6, 9 months away, it's never too early to get prepared. And this is going to go in conjunction with the second thing on this list, which is determining how much home you guys can afford. So typically, the conservative amount is you don't want homes to cost more than 3 times your annual income. Of course, other factors will play a role in this, such as down payment, other debts, and things of that nature. And then the next thing you want to do is get in touch with a lender, which if you don't know any, I can help you out, connect you with some quality ones in Central Florida, excuse me, good people, also in the Lake Nona area. And you're going to be providing information to the lender you choose to work with to get pre-qualified, pre-approved, same thing. And the type of information they're going to be looking at is your income, savings, and investments you currently have, along with them checking or looking into your credit as well, just to get an idea. Now, this is going to just give them a better idea of how much money they can extend out to you. So the next step you want to do after that, you're pre-qualified, ready to find your home, is you're going to give me a call and hire me to be your realtor. But you want to find the right realtor that works with you personality-wise, availability-wise, expectations you may have, they may or may not be able to meet. So typically you want to interview a few of them just to get a better idea of that, and so that you guys know it's a good fit or as best fit as possible based on what you're both coming in expecting out of it, and it just makes the whole process a lot smoother. So, and we're going to help provide you with information not as easily accessible to you, such as the multiple listing service, and also just knowledge of the process and expertise in the market, and help you set your expectations properly as well. So it's a smooth ride as possible. A lot of people, this is the biggest purchase they make in their life. So we definitely are going to be negotiating on your behalf, and the seller pays us, so why not get one? Now, after that, you're gonna once you have your realtor ready, you found the right match, you're gonna start shopping for a home and begin that process before you eventually go on and do end up making an offer. A couple things I recommend: don't look at more than 5 homes in a day. Typically, even 3 might be a more safer estimate. And a reason for that is once you start looking at all them, the kitchens get blurred. Was that this room? Was that that one? Was that in this area? And it kind of defeats the process. To help out with that, take some videos of the houses if you're able to when you go and doing a walkthrough of the home. So that way, when you're looking at them later on your own time, you can kind of refresh and compare different things. Also, take some notes when you have a checklist. Certain things, 5 things you are okay with, 5 things that you're completely non-negotiable with. Of course, leave some wiggle room with that, but it is going to help narrow down that search and make the realtor's job a lot easier as well, which I'm sure some of my fellow realtors out there can agree. But have that checklist and take notes on the back of it after, your first impressions, last impressions after you leave each house, and just the different pros, cons, and things you liked about those. It'll help you out later on when you sit down to kind of evaluate. Also, you want to evaluate the neighborhood. So do the other neighbors take care of their yards? Is this a neighborhood maybe for more family oriented, and maybe you're not at that stage of your life yet and you want to party on a Saturday night? A couple things I recommend to check that out is drive by it at night. Drive by it on a Saturday night as well, and have an idea of what that neighborhood's like at that time. Check the temperature of it and see if that's going to fit you and your expectations. Maybe the neighbor next door has 10 kids and you don't want to be next to someone with 10 kids because you have any, or you don't have any, excuse me. So these are things you want to look for before you're all closed on that home, keys handed to you, and you're basically stuck there living with that neighbor. So also you want to check the traffic coming in and out of the neighborhood. Is it a one-way in, one-way out? How many turns does it take to get to your specific home? Does that fit in with what you're okay with? Is there a school there in one way and you have no kids and you're going to be stuck in traffic all the time? These are things you want to know, and just have that foresight to check out beforehand. Again, this is the biggest purchase of most people's lives, so you would want to evaluate those things and make sure it's located next to things you want to be near if you're going to live there. So schools, shopping centers, restaurants, things of that nature. Once you guys do reach an agreement and put in an offer and it is accepted, the home will go into escrow, which is going to set in motion the period of time you have left to complete the remaining steps in the process. First thing will be a home inspection. You want to get that done as soon as possible. You're just going to be looking for structural damage, the pipes, things of that nature, electrical, the wiring of the home, the roof they're going to look at. And you're going to get a report on the home as well as the seller. At this point, you can decide if there's anything you'd like to request the seller to fix before you guys do end up closing on the sale, have certain contingencies in there, things like that. And you'll get a final walkthrough at the end as well. And at this point, you'll work with the lender to select the loan. Typically, you guys already have an idea of what direction you're going in. Know your priorities at this point. Beforehand, you should even know them. But monthly payment, your comfort zone where you want to be, and the timeline you have to move. So you have the expectation if you're going to be moving in 21 days, 30, 45. So you have a good idea and a good timeline to plan off of. At this point, you're going to have the home appraised, and you'll get an independent estimate, just making sure you're paying fair price for your home. And with the inspection and the appraisal, based on the results, if it comes in more or less than appraised, or if an inspection certain things need to be fixed, this is where you're going to have wiggle room to negotiate with the seller, hopefully. Maybe have them repair some things, maybe some concessions need to be made before you guys end up at the closing table. Before you end up at the closing table, you're going to have the lender, the realtor, working with the title company that'll be handling the transaction, and I'm just coordinating all the paperwork, getting you guys ready for closing day behind the scenes. And once you end up closing the sale, you'll be at the table, get all your paperwork, get the keys, be ready to move in a couple days typically. And then you guys will be all set. Achieve the American dream, have your home hopefully happy and settled in, and smooth ride as possible in the process. And then at that point, again, this is just a general idea of the process of the home buying. So you guys just have an idea of the steps in the process and what to expect, and maybe even a timeline to expect that in. So I hope this was helpful information. If you guys have any questions, feel free to reach out. If you have any specific topics you guys would like to be discussed now or in the future, let me know, and we'll definitely get to work on some of those. So thank you for listening. I hope you guys enjoy the rest of your Saturday.